Hello everyone, welcome to Coffee Break Q&A. My name is Michael Moret. Coffee Break Q&A is your opportunity to ask Bible questions. I'll give you the email address at the end of the broadcast where you can send any questions that you might have. Please keep your questions Bible related. And I'm not a Bible answer man, but I'll try to answer your question and at least let you know what I think the Bible teaches. The question for today is this: why are people tempted? What is it about mankind that tempts us to do evil? Well, to begin with, we have a free will. We were created, Adam and Eve were created with a free will to choose right or wrong. And if that choice is real, there must be an option to do what is wrong. So one of the reasons we're tempted is because we have a free will. And we can choose to do that which is evil. The temptations themselves come from within us and from outside of us. At least that's the source. Satan is referred to as the tempter. The tempter tempted Jesus to commit sin. Satan sometimes stirs us, tempts us, him and his demons, to do what is wrong, makes it seem so appealing. So those are temptations that come from outside of us. But I've got to tell you that those temptations would be pretty much powerless if it wasn't for the fact that we have a sin nature. Now, Adam and Eve sinned without having a sin nature. They received a temptation from Satan, who is very good at what he does, and they gave in. They then obtained a sin nature and passed it on to us. So now we are tempted from outside and from within. Our fallen sin nature is bent toward evil. It is bent toward rebellion. And that's what God is talking about in James chapter 1, verse 13, where he says, "Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man." And then God goes on to say this: "But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lusts and enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin." So the reason that you and I are tempted is because deep down inside of us, we lust after things that are wrong. Even Christians still have that sin nature. And we lust after things that God forbids. And so Satan comes along, drops a few temptations in our minds, entices us, and that just activates our sin nature. That stirs up our sin nature even more than what it would be on our own. But the reason we're tempted is because we have a sin nature that is bent toward evil. And we think that that's going to bring us satisfaction. We think that sin and evil and rebellion against God, because it appeals to our nature, because it appeals to our lusts, we talk ourselves into thinking that that's going to bring satisfaction and happiness. But like God goes on to say here in James, when sin has conceived, it brings forth death. Nothing good ever comes from sin. It promises a lot, and that's why we are tempted, and that's why people give into it, but it delivers nothing but bad. Temptations come from Satan, and they come from our own sin nature. I hope that helps. If you have a question, please send it to scriptureversebyverse@gmail.com.